My name's Justin, and this is The Art of Repair. And on today's episode, we're going to just scenario for a second because I know the position I'm about to tell you about has been one that you have been in before. Okay, so for just one moment, I need you to scenario with me, because if you are new to mobile electronics repair, I guarantee that if you have not been put in this position already, you will be very, very shortly. So what exactly am I talking about? I'm talking about that day that you open up a package. It could be a tablet digitizer. It could be just a regular little, sub $100 phone. I mean, it could be something expensive. I don't know what it is, but you're going to open it up one day after you've done your pre-work and got your frame ready to go, and it's all clean, and you're going to realize that the new part didn't come with any adhesive. Now what? I'll tell you what. And the first thing you're probably thinking is, I'm going to go grab the B7000 and just yaka, 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 yaka. No, we're not going to do that. What we're actually going to do is today we're going to learn how to cut a proper tape template that is going to give you the maximum hold on your frame. So let's just go ahead and jump in here. We're going to do this in the microscope. You don't really need to do it in the microscope. It's just going to be easier for you to see how to do this in the microscope. So here we go. All right, so as we get started here, let's talk a little bit about the tools. Which ones are you going to need today? Well, I think it's plainly obvious that we're probably going to need some blades. So we've got a brand new surgical feather number 11 here, and then we've got ourselves just a flat blade. And, this isn't always used, but sometimes it is. It's just good to have them both. And then we will also be needing a good pair of grippy tweezers. You guys know me. I like these really nice grippy ones right here. And then a kind of dull spudger. You don't really need it to be super sharp. Y'all know I like the black sticks. These are kind of one of my favorites. So now that we know and now that we have all the tools needed to do this, let us take our mid-frame from some random super cheap phone that you're probably going to see. And like I said, this can be done on all kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like especially iPads where you want to make sure it gets real Tessa tape. Yeah, y'all saw me winking. Y'all know about that. Anyway, let's take our little metal earpiece grill here real quick and set it on there before we get started. Alrighty. And I usually do recommend that if there's something like this where you can see that it's kind of recessed down in there, go ahead and put this on before you put the tape down so that you can kind of include it under the tape template. That way it doesn't go anywhere, okay? So let us take our tape. We are using Tessa 51965. I don't know, there's so many of them. The reason I'm using this is because it's a little bit bigger than some of the other rolls I have right now, not because it is my preferred Tessa tape for these types of jobs. I would probably use 61395. We're going to take it and we're going to do the very first thing that you should always do whenever you are making a tape template. You should make sure that the edge of the tape goes to the edge of the frame. Okay, so the easy way for us to do that with a tape that's bigger than the tape than the frame that we have that we're working on is that we're just going to move the tape up. Right? And we're going to make sure that we overlap the edge. And then we can go down here and follow the bottom part of the top end of the frame. And what this is going to do is it's going to give us overhang that we can now cut off with our really sharp blade. But are we going to do that immediately? No. We're going to take our black spudger or whatever spudger that you wanted to use before, and you guys can see right here it's kind of like a little hill coming up the side. It's not like a defined right angle like it was before. We're going to go ahead and create that right angle by taking our semi-dull. This is why I wanted a dull one, not a sharp one, okay? We're going to take our plastic, and you can see it's kind of bending there. We're just trying to get in, and we're just going to work our way up all the way around. You can see there a little technique like that. See how it's starting to go with the shape of the frame? That's what we want all the way around. Just trying to make sure y'all can see it. Y'all really don't need to do this in the microscope, but if you want to cut them out real nice, it definitely helps. But y'all know me, I use the microscope on everything. All right, so we can see now that it looks quite a bit different on the edge. It's almost like form to it. That's great. We're going to take our super nice, super sharp blade, and we're going to start in the middle. I like to start in the middle because it's, in my opinion, it's just easier to deal with. And we can just follow that edge. See how we're following that little right angle we created? And then we can do it on the other side. Okay. Simple, simple, simple. We are here. And now we are here. How about that? First step complete. And you can check it, make sure everything's good in there. Run your finger. Sometimes you'll get like that little excess right there. You see, I don't know if y'all can see it. Yeah, a little bit of excess right there. There you go. You can see that. Come on now. Let's just peel it a little bit. And look at that. So we are now edge to edge up to the bottom here. Okay, and now we're going to cut out our metal ear speaker grill, and we're going to cut out our sensors. And at that point, you can apply these same techniques to pretty much anything. And then at the very end, I'm going to show you how to take that 10 mil and cut you down to that 1 mil here in the corner. So that way, if you're out of the 1 or it's all mangled up because it's 1 mil, you know what I'm talking about, then you can do this for that as well. So let's go ahead and cut these things out. We can see here that the metal grill is actually kind of giving us an idea of where it is. We don't really need to take the spudger too much on it. We want to get like a general idea for it. You see what I'm saying? Like we're not digging deep in there because that could end up dislodging the grill and moving it over to the side. So we just did a little bit there. And if we flip it over, we can see on the back here where the sensors are, or the cameras, or whatever they are. You know what I'm saying? Every device is a little bit different. Not all the holes are the same or used for the same purpose. What we're going to do is we're just going to poke a little hole in the middle, poke a little hole in the middle, make sure there's no other ones. Oh, is that one right here? Do we got another one? Nope, nothing there. But better not lose that. Just making sure. Alright. Nothing else hidden. We've got our little dots here. You can see where I poked through. All we're going to do is just go in the middle, cut down. Go down the middle, cut down. Same here. Cut down, cut down. And what we're trying to do right now is we're trying to establish the perimeter. That way we know where to cut later, so we're not just making blind cuts into a frame, okay? Now, we're going to go back into the middle, and you can see here, we're going to just press down again. And you can see here now that we actually have the perimeter to something. And we have not forgot about the ear grill, the ear speaker grill yet. We're just kind of getting down the road here. All right, so now we kind of have perimeters for both the sensors and for the ear speaker grill here. And all we're going to do is we're going to look at the ends, and we're just going to go square with that. Now, like I was saying earlier, you guys can keep one of these around for this if you wanted to make like really nice square cuts. You see how I'm just going around that perimeter now? Alright, so we've got that perimeter. Now we're going to come in here on this perimeter. Flip it around, do the same thing on the other side. Got one right here. Alright, we are almost done. I think the last thing is just going to be to take our regular blade, connect the dots here, Okay. Let's go ahead and peel this thing out. So what we've done is we've gone around the perimeter of the dimension area that we made, and we just put some cuts, and now we're going to take our tweezers, peel it off, and hopefully have something that looks kind of nice. You know, and if it doesn't look like it's cut all the way through. Okay. All right, you can see here we're just going to be pulling out the material from the middle. And you can be a little more careful about it if you want, or you can just rip it on out. It doesn't really matter. The whole deal is, and you guys can start to see here, is we've actually got a lot more surface area covered than would if we would have just put blocks. And then the reveal of the grill. All right. We did it. And, you know, if you guys are doing this on your own, tap, tap, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, going around the edge. You guys know this is going to take a grand total of 45 seconds. So we've got all this taken care of. We can see now, look at that beautiful, amazing little template there that goes all the way to the edges. It's going to prevent all kinds of dirt and grime from getting inside there. It's going to prevent your metal grill from getting out. I like it. I like it. Now, like I said, I did promise you that I was going to show you how to use the big roll in a small roll scenario. So let's go ahead and do that, because what if your 1 and 2 millimeter roll is all finagled? You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Because if you don't, you're going to know one day, and you're going to be like, I remember what he was talking about. So let us take the same tape, get ourselves a nice long piece here, and what we're going to do is we're actually going to kind of go the opposite way. Do you remember how before we did the overlap, right? Well, anytime you get down to that 1 to 2 mil range, it's going to be really hard to kind of put the tape down and press it into that corner without it deforming, right? So we're going to kind of take this from the opposite direction, which is going to give you another tool for you to use, you know what I mean? So let me show you here. We're literally just going to start and do this from the top here. And we're just going to press it into the corner. And if you don't have a microscope, this is easy. You just right into the corner there. We're going to take our black spudger, and we are going to just carefully just press down there. We're not putting any force. This is just us touching it. I just want to make sure that it sticks, all right? The thing to note here is if you look under it, there's a gap. Pay attention, all right? So we're going to cut it off the other side. Stick it to the table like we all do. Told y'all don't let it fall down, you know. All right, so we can see here that it starts to go down right about there. You can easily check this with your blade. All right, just press down, come across. You're basically just cutting this into 2 separate pieces. And then you're just going to come over here. All right, we got it started. And you never really want to cut toward your finger. You know, you got to be careful about that. All we're trying to do, you see here how we've separated it? So all we're going to do now, remember that 45-degree angle? 45. I'm pulling right here. See what I did there? It's perfect. Let me show you one more time, and let's go ahead and knock this video out. You know what I mean? You see why we don't let it stick down to the frame now? It's kind of hard not to sometimes, but if you don't have the tape, you don't have a choice. And it kind of ruins the tape under it too, so you do got to be careful about that a little bit. All right. So just like we did before, I'm just holding it, and I'm pulling in this direction while I'm cutting down. And you don't really, like I said, you don't need the scope. This is actually pretty easy and kind of satisfying to do outside of the microscope with those edges. Ugh, I hate damaging that little junk on the bottom, but all right, take a look. Absolutely perfect. Just like that with a razor blade. So now you know how to make your own tape templates. All right, we did it. We made it through another video. And I know sometimes I can be long-winded, but I swear I just have so much information that I want to get across to you. I'm always looking at the time while I'm recording it, and I'm like, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Oh, you're talking too much. But guess what? Everybody that listened got something out of this video, especially if you were brand new to repair. So if you did like this video, make sure you go down there, you hit the little like button thing, you know, you can share it with your friends, you could subscribe to the channel, and best of all, you could get notified with the little bell if you want to know every time I put out a video. So, you know, I always drop that little thing down there if you could do that for me. And if you are interested in any of the tools that you saw in today's video, I do supply vendors around the world with tools, and it would mean a lot to me if you would purchase from them by going to shop.artof.repair, picking a vendor that's close to you, the one that's closest, or maybe your favorite, it doesn't matter, and support them, because when you support them, you support me. And if your vendor is not currently sourcing tools from the Art of Repair, you know, you could say something to them about it, and you don't have to be so subtle about it. All I'm saying. So anyway, I love you guys. I will see y'all next time.